The old man was just about to turn off the TV and go to sleep, when unexpectedly a thief burst into his room, to lull him into a deep sleep. The thief deliberately placed a can of poison gas on the floor, then he turned and locked the door tightly. He thought his plan was flawless. But little did he know that the old man in bed was the real tough guy. Jack then met up with his two accomplices downstairs, when they discovered that a door in the living room was locked. They immediately realized the money must be hidden there, so they immediately began picking the lock. But to their surprise, the lock was exceptionally sturdy. They picked at it for ages without success. Furious, Jack pulled out his gun and prepared to shoot the lock off. But this move drew objections from his accomplices, because once he fired a shot, it would no longer be just a simple burglary. But Jack wouldn't listen. He fired a shot directly at the lock. Sure enough, as the gunshot rang out, the lock on the door was instantly shattered. Billy, unwilling to take such a huge risk, left his two companions behind and prepared to leave. The remaining two intended to grab the money and leave. But unexpectedly, the old man suddenly emerged from the room.
Who's there?
This instantly terrified them. Seeing that things couldn't go on like this, Jack decided to stop pretending. He explained that he had simply wandered in by mistake. But no sooner had the words left his mouth than Arthur stepped on the lock that had fallen to the floor. This instantly made him realize the other was lying. Realizing that the game was up, Jack had no choice but to make a bold move. He fired a shot at the ceiling, but Arthur, a retired Special Forces soldier, wasn't intimidated at all. He slowly approached Jack and seized the opportunity to grab his weapon. Arthur asked how many of them there were. When Jack saw his girlfriend standing nearby, he said he was alone. Arthur then blew Jack's head off with a single shot. This left Gina completely stunned. She never expected Arthur to be so ruthless. To avoid Arthur's gaze, she slowly backed away and hid under a table. Fortunately, Arthur didn't spot Gina, so she narrowly escaped disaster. But just then another companion heard the gunshot and turned back, only to run straight into Arthur. Luckily, he quickly ducked out of the way, and thus avoided being spotted by Arthur. Seeing Arthur quickly lock all the doors and windows, Billy hurriedly hid in a corner. He got in touch with Gina. However, just as they were about to meet up, Arthur suddenly came over to Gina's side. Startled, Gina had no choice but to hide again. Fortunately, Arthur hadn't spotted her. He was checking to see if the money was still in the safe. Once he confirmed the money was still there, Arthur finally left relieved. Little did he know that Gina, hiding behind him, had seen the entire safe combination. So once the two successfully met up, Gina quickly entered the code and took Arthur's retirement funds. They then prepared to make a run for it with the money. But the very next second, Arthur suddenly pushed open the door. This instantly left them at a loss. Fortunately, he had only come to dispose of his partner's body. To avoid arousing Arthur's suspicion, they quietly backed away. But just then, the floor suddenly creaked. Hearing the noise, Arthur quickly raised his pistol, scanning the room, and finally aimed it at Gina. Fortunately, Arthur didn't notice anything amiss and began disposing of the body. Once Arthur left the room, the two sneaked down to the basement, hoping to find an escape route. After searching for a long time, they discovered something terrifying.